In this video, we're going to go over some of the top stocks for tomorrow or even the next few days remaining this week. So we're going to take a look at them right now and let's get into the video. First of all, Upstart. Upstart looks really good. It's been setting up for a while. A fake out here on, that was Monday. Fake out. I tried getting in this. I cut it very quickly. Today, it's coming back. Volume wasn't high enough, right? We need some strong volume to break over this 81 level. That's the key level I'm watching, 81. Yeah, we have this downtrend, which this, breaking out of this will open the gate to 81, which beyond 81, that's when I really expect Upstart to get a move on. It needs good volume. That's the main thing. But overall, like, you look at this setup and it's consistently tightening up, right? It's following above the moving averages. It's bouncing off the 20. And even today it bounced a little off the 10. So I'm watching that and it looks good. I mean, it's overall pretty solid, has a lot of potential. Obviously, clean upside once you get beyond the resistance here, and it's had a great move in Q4 of this year, and there's plenty of run room, or clean air as I like to call it, once you can get over these key resistance levels. So this also, just makes for a good R to R trade. That's exactly what we go for. So Upstart's definitely one of those names that you have to that we're going to continue watching. Just make sure you don't get faked out on a low volume push like Monday. You want volume to attack some of these setups. An example of that is XMTR. XMTR. This is another stock that on Monday gave a little bit of a fake. Today it pushed higher. The volume, I'd like to see higher volume, so I didn't take this thing. But overall, if you go to the weekly, it looks really strong. So this red line here, which is the 35.7 level, that's a big deal. Getting through this. This is a key resistance. So it broke the trend, right? Broke the downtrend, and then moved a little higher, built a launch pad, so consolidated, and now it's trying to get a move, or it's breaking out to try to get over this 35 level, which will definitely open up the opportunity to see even $60, right? So the key thing here is volume, which it didn't have, and therefore I didn't take the trade. If there's good volume tomorrow, I would consider it with the break over 35, 50-ish. If it has strong volume, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to buy at the end of the day when the volume is higher than the prior day. You could tell at 9:45 in the morning, you could determine if it's going to be a higher volume day or not. Just look at the relative volume based on the prior open or the prior hourly candles. That'll give you a really good indication of what the volume's doing. But overall, this has been a good setup. Like, this is a clean flag. Obviously, you can see how tight it is. Tapping the moving averages, consistently staying above them. Gave a fake out here, but overall, like, I don't even think some people that took this, they may have not even gotten stopped out because it really didn't dip too much. But this is a solid move it made today. I just would like to see higher volume to have more conviction on a trade like this, especially right now because I feel like the market's a little bit weary, right? We could get a little bit of a dip, bounce off that 20 moving average. So today was a strong day, but last couple of days were a little weary. So, I lightened up on my positions, and I don't want to just jump right back into everything. I want to just take the setups that are firing with strong volume, or the setups that just look absolutely impeccable in the right themes and sectors right now. So XMTR didn't necessarily make that cut. So in order for me to get in something like that, I would certainly need to see some strong volume. So let's go look at Dave. This is a personal finance company. So, had a nice gap on earnings, strong earnings, and then has just been consolidating. It went for a break here, couldn't do it, and since it's kind of been a little bit of a wedge. I'm looking at a bounce off of this 20 moving average and a pop out of this little downtrend it's got. That could get it to break out. And when you zoom out and look at the type of room this stock has, it's like, it's got big room, right? So we understand the type of upside a name like this has, the types of moves it can make. Just need to basically find an area where it has some big volume, a good R to R trade, which, currently has a good setup. We just need big volume and a pop out of that wedge. I would certainly be interested in taking it. So nice. Another personal finance app, which I've been in for a while now. I've made quite a lot of money on this one, but I think there's a lot more money to be made. Square. So Square, another little wedge. Tried popping out of that today. the volume was not crazy or anything, but this isn't really the type of setup where I would really need big volume. I didn't add anything. I've just been in this position. I'm monitoring everything, so it's good. If you're not in the position, though, I think it's definitely compelling. I mean, you go to the weekly and look at the type of base this is breaking. I think 130 is going to happen Q1 25, maybe, you know, if the market really performs well and the personal finance slash fintech names perform really well into the end of the year, it could see 120 to 130 in the late stages of 2024. So Square looks phenomenal on the weekly, right, which I've spoken about quite a bit. If you go to the daily here, though, I think it has a chance to get the next leg, right? It's struggled, it's been consolidating, chopping around, making these little wedges. Really hasn't moved much at all over the last few weeks, but I think now it has the potential to really get into the next leg and start moving higher. So I think Square and Dave are kind of in similar little pockets of the market. Yeah. Bitcoin has been strong. I spoke about IBIT yesterday. Today got the move. I entered more Bitcoin. And yeah, it looks phenomenal. I mean, I think it's going to push for the big break here. You know, it's given a fake out at 100 before. I think this time it has what it takes to actually get the move on and start pushing higher. I really like IBIT. This was a beautiful setup. I spoke about it yesterday, how it's going to bounce out, I would expect it to bounce off the 20. It looks strong. So obviously I like it. Coinbase is good. I entered some Coinbase. MicroStrategy has been looking good as well. It started to get the breakout of the key level that I was watching for the last few days. So MicroStrategy looked good. Overall, Bitcoin names look pretty good. I would stay away from any miners right now. Just stick it to what, in my opinion, the leaders are, which is MicroStrategy, Coinbase. You could just buy IBIT, which is the ETF from BlackRock. So anyway, that's what I would. That's my 2 cents. Shopify. Shopify's starting to get a little bit of a move on. It didn't really get a full breakout or anything. The volume wasn't crazy, but it's holding up strong. It's bouncing off this 10 moving average. I'm maybe watching a break of this little wedge it could be forming. We'll see what happens. But overall, I really like Shopify. I think from the fundamentals are very strong in this stock right now, given the Shop app. But I typically do not like to just trade stocks based on fundamentals because, you know, the fundamentals that I realize now are going to be tailwinds for the stock that may not get realized for another 3 months. In Shopify, that not necessarily not Shopify specifically, but like typically there's a lot of stocks, right? I could be early on a thesis. I could say, okay, well, this stock is strong for this fundamental reason. I could have a thesis. I could say, oh, this company's doing XYZ, and it may not do anything for months. And then suddenly, when I've already exited and given up on my trade, then, you know, the market can kind of pick up that catalyst, or, you know, they realize the fundamental shift. So my point is, do not buy and trade stocks simply off of fundamentals. Focus on the technicals. If they intertwine with the fundamentals and the theme, that's great. But you need the technical to get the trigger to actually get in the stock. Do not rely on fundamentals to actually get the moves that you're looking for. Like, there's so many stocks that have good fundamentals, but you're like a year early. You're not going to sit in a stock with 25% of your buying power for a year. It's super inefficient. So I'll talk about that more once I get into some investing videos on this channel. But, you know, the first few videos and these videos are focused on swing trading. I just want to say, like, when there's a stock and you believe it's good for XYZ, the market doesn't really care, right? Maybe you're right, but you could always be really early, and therefore you're not going to profit off of it. Focus on the technical setup, and, you know, if it's in the right theme, that's great, but that's just what I'm going to say. Zoom looks good. I've been watching Zoom for a few days now. Looks like it's ready to go. I mean, there's really nothing more to say about this. It was on my video this a few days ago. Whoops. And yeah, Zoom looks phenomenal, right? This is that key 87 level, which I want to see it break through some nice volume, maybe even tomorrow or the day after that. I'm looking forward to this thing breaking by the end of the week. That's what I'll say. But Zoom looks really good. So anyway, guys, I think that's going to be the video. Sorry if I was a little bit shaky on the explanations, but you guys get the point. You saw the setups. You understand how we roll. If you don't understand how we trade and why we look for specific setups, go to the description. go to either my X, which I post a bunch more setups, but realistically, you should go to the Discord, go to the PDF, and read the PDF. Just go to the Start Here section in the Discord, read the PDF I wrote, which simplifies and basically puts everything together and simplifies it, gives you the core foundational principles of what we do so that you can kind of put the puzzle pieces together while looking at all these setups, and you start to understand why we take trades, why we look for specific risk reward opportunities. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.